Hey, Peter. Anyone else is here? This place is a big style, and I apologise for that. I'll push that out of the way so you've got to clean your carpet. It's all happening here. Well, it's not. Jim Mazelic, g'day. Paul, hello. Not happening at all. I'm about done, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I'm done. Mark Osborne, good day. Actually working all week. I worked yesterday and I worked today and I worked Monday, which means I only had one day off on the weekend, which is all right. I've got next Saturday off. So I get 2 days off this week and 2 days off next week, but they're different days. Big working bee this weekend. Shenandoah Steam Shed. Don't know what's happening. I'd talk. Probably some beer. Probably a good feed. Maybe some steam engine repairs. Not sort of shed shop. G'day. Yeah, might not be a whole lot happening, but probably will be stuff. If I get there, but I'll get organised enough to throw the mattress in the back of the van on Friday morning. And I go to work and I've got a grocery click and collect, so I'll pick that up after work and I'll run down to Grafton on Friday night, come back Saturday evening sometime. See how we go with it. But a few jobs that we need to do. Probably the main one is to pull the big end off the near side, off the flywheel side, on the Fowler and see why it's going squeak. But there's sort of something to do. Now, I haven't made a lot of inroads into a workshop, or I'd be out in the workshop. Haven't made a lot of inroads at all. Bit slack. I should have stuff moved out, but it hasn't happened. We're into another month now on the rental, so we're going to live with it and sort it out. What else? Yeah, a bit sore, honestly, a bit tired. I've had one of those days. Nothing quite went right. People ordering the wrong part numbers, and my quote says the right part number, and my order list says the right part number, and then the order online says a different part number. It's only off one number, but that's enough. And then the order sets the same part number as the one on the order when the invoice comes, and the part that's invoiced and the part that comes is the other number. So there's not much good to anything, and it's a single-use part, and of course you think it's the right one, and you think, well, it's not quite the right one, but maybe they've sent a substitute and I don't know anything about it, because a lot of those parts are substituted. There's a different part. Then you open it, and then of course you can't send it back. So you've got to do something about that tomorrow. Things like that. I've got a Longines watch that's got a crazy amount of parts there. To go back in it in the morning should be a really nice watch when we're done. We've got a Tissot that seems to have an electrical problem. I've got a Rado that seems to have a mechanical problem. It's got a water resistance problem in the case, and water's getting in and rusted a few setting parts. I've probably got enough spare parts because I've already put a circuit board in that recently and closed it up, and it's a Rado, so you would expect it to be somewhat near water resistant, but obviously it's not. So I got to deal with that. This is, yeah, it's just another day in my life. Hey, David. It's all the bits about repairing watches that you don't see. It's all romantic and fine and putting bits together and watching them go and stuff like that. But parts ordering and not diagnosing the problem completely when you do quotes and things like that. There's a lot of that happens. Anyway, that's what I do. So I got to deal with that. And what else is there? Oh, there's a Citizen Echo drive that I don't even know whether it's going to work with a capacitor or an accumulator in it. If it does work with the accumulator in it, we'll order all the other bits and get it going. But that's the first job in the morning. Yeah, there was 2 or 3 easy jobs. But, yeah. Bit of a cough. I'm just tired, basically. And pretty run down, and I've actually got an infected ingrown hair, I think, which is probably not something everyone needs to know, but it's killing me, and there's not much you can do except let it sort of grow out, and either the particular limb will fall off, or it'll sort itself out. But it's sort of not real good. So, unhappy. Run on about that a bit. Look, I'm printing a drawbot and putting them together. I've got enough electronic parts really to make it work. And life isn't the same without the number of robots in it. So there's a nice little drawbot design on Thingiverse that actually got copied by the Chinese. You can actually buy one. But the original plans for it, and downloaded them and printed most of the bits. Ordered some parts online. They haven't arrived yet, probably tomorrow. So there's nothing really to see except a box full of printed plastic bits. But eventually we might get some done with that too. What else? Got a load of laundry on because I've got tomorrow night, to sort of get things organised before I go, because Friday night I won't be here. And I need some clean laundry, in particular some dirty clothes. I don't know if anyone knows anything about steamrollers, but you tend to end up really, 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 really dirty. Somewhere between black and darker black. And it's usually sticky black, so you can't touch anything. Like, it's not just set on black like paint. It's stuck on black that sticks to everything you touch. So that's where we're at. There's a bit of a list. I think we covered it the other day. There's just a dozen little jobs. None of them are more than probably an hour to do them. We just got to get sort of organised to do it. And 2 days to make some actual progress on bits would be fantastic. Be really good. Be pretty happy with that. And then I'm probably not going to get away. There's Easter weekend. I'm not sure what I'm doing Easter weekend, or whether there's an event planned that I might go to, or whether I just put my feet up and sleep all day. And after that, my colleague goes to Italy for a month, sort of in another 6 weeks or so. So it's very, very unlikely that I'll get any time off for that month. and then it's sort of middle of the year. It's the end of spring. So we're sort of, we'll see what we can do. That's where I'm at. There's a bit of a situation with the drain plug, the drain cocks on the roller. Don't know if anyone's sick of listening about steamrollers and things. We'll just find a picture here. Someone from the UK posted a picture of what they should look like on Facebook. So we'll put this up here so you can actually see it. Probably. That's the lever, and it just sits on top of the square plug on top of the drain cock, which is pretty terrible. And then there's a flat. Russ Knox, good day. Check out Russ Knox's video last week if you haven't already. Very good video about people doing some very good work in Europe. So this lever here, right? What this has is a hole drilled in here, and then a piece of flat screwed on it through the hole to the end, and then a bolt in this end, and then this piece has a hole drilled through it, and this is out here off that piece of flat. So every time you use it, it all comes loose. Every gravel road you go down, it all just shakes around. And it's a pretty stupid system because this lever here goes across the front around all these valves, and then it's got another lever on the other side, and another lever down the side, and then another one without the crank on it for the back. So when you pull this lever across, they all work. It's kind of terrible, to be honest. But this is a whole lot better than what I've got, even though it's still kind of terrible. So I'm going to get some of these cast up in brass and thread them and put 3/8 studs in these with pin holes through them, and a square hole to sit them down on the cock there nicely, and probably peen the top of it over to stop them bouncing off a fraction. And see, this one's been peened over because someone's had that problem with this one. And hopefully we can, without a whole lot of work, we can improve this a whole lot, because this lever across the front isn't too terrible, and this lever across here it's all right. It's just all loose and crap. Hangs down a bit because none of these pins are line up or anything. So that's a project. Hey, Paul. See if I can find another picture of that. Here's another picture. This is on what appears to be probably a Fowler, like a ploughing engine or something, but still Fowler. We'll blow that up a bit. You see this lever across the front here? Goes under these pipes. It's the exhaust pipe under here, between there and the boiler, or between there and the smoke box. And then this one goes along the side with these bell crank pieces on here. Shows signs of original lining on here. And this is the original paint scheme here, with brass bands and burnt umber or whatever that is, and yellow stripes. So eventually. And there's a fire iron bracket on there, which mine hasn't got. Anyway. Morning 624 Dudley. So that's where we're at. But that's a big compound of some sort. It's a very similar engine, but it's got wheels on the front. And I would say it's probably the right colour to be a ploughing engine. I reckon that's what it is. And so safety valve's the same on the top and the whistle. And there's, of course, there's a wheel down there. And a plate that probably says Dreadnought, I reckon, just a guess. Maybe that's a G. Could say Dreadnought. Anyway. That's one of the jobs that needs some work. Jonathan W's got a good website, good channel. He's getting pretty heavy into Steam. He's sort of at the same level that we are at Shannondale as far as getting things working and running and stuff. It's a good channel. He's always had a good channel. I've been following him since he was building like rat rod motorbikes and things. Take care, Rusty. Good to see ya. Check out his video. Bookmark it for later. My bag is just there where I dropped it. I don't know if you noticed. A bit rough. Gee, I'm sore. Sorry. What else is happening? Don't know really. Now, if there's anything happening, I've got a heap of signs. It feels like to make for like the South Coast Restoration Club. Mostly pretty easy stuff. I might just dig through a rack of plywood and see what I can find, and go out and paint something up. But pretty stuff, simple stuff, casual with a bit of a shadow on it and a block, and nothing serious. There's a spray painter there if you want to tee him up too. So I might find something, and even a bit of dye bond or something, and get him to hit it with a coat of red or something. And then, is that a piano action? No, it's the broken GoPro mount, which I haven't kicked out of the way. I think I printed another one. A bit slack. 3D printers are pretty messy machines, to be honest. Not pulling pianos apart at the moment, though. Thank God. I'm have a look at this drawbot. I don't know if anyone's really interested in that. I'm sort of interested. Bill's not here, but there's a Bill Mullins knife with the B etched on the side. Really nice little box cutter. Trying got some bits. Right. So we got nice weather. Should be a really nice day. Here in Queensland, we've got 31-degree days all the rest of the week, I think. Sorry. I managed to adjust that. Thanks, Mark. Anyone else who wants to shout out their video, you really should. That's the way to do it. I follow most of you, but I forget what I've seen and what I haven't seen. This is the other half, which is basically there's two 8mm rods run between here and here. 450 apart though, so, and there's a threaded rod between the bottom to hold it apart. This has got the space in here for four linear bearings, and the top half's got space for another 4 pointing the opposite direction. So we put that together and bolt it up with the bearings in place. It should hold them all in place like this. See, one crossways on the other. Don't know how good that is. There's 4 pulleys there for belts, and this slides backwards and forwards between these two pieces here. And it's got 2 rods through here, and there's a piece out here like this, and then there's a piece out here like this that we're still working on, which has basically a pen lifter here and a pen holder. There's the pen holder. And it goes one way up. It's got a bolt holding it in place, and then there's a bolt and a thumb nut holding the pen in place on those V's. And that slides up and down in there with a servo RC servo to bring it up and down. Hey Stuart. Thanks, Pete. I really appreciate that. So that's what it is. Then it's got an Arduino and a GMBL shield in that box. And hopefully a Uno is enough to drive this thing. I've run into problems in the past where it wasn't enough. You really need a Mega on it, which means I've got to reprint a box. But this is all 3D prints, yeah, Mark. At this point, it's easy job. We just got to find the bits mostly in the storage unit. And there's this stepper motor goes on the top here with pulleys, and that runs round a couple of pulleys on the middle and moves this one backwards and forwards, and this one I think moves this one backwards and forwards. So pretty simple. And then there's a servo that runs this up and down. Basically it's got 3mm rods. And the slides on those, which should do, with a servo operating on that flange. So that's sort of how it works, and there's some software and firmware and crap that's got to be sorted out to make it work. So it's a bit of a challenge that way, for me anyway. But Joe's here, my landlord / flatmate. He's pretty handy, and he's very, very good with this stuff, so we will get it sorted out. I might get some Arduino lessons out of it, I hope, because I'm a bit sketchy with electronics. Anyway, that's what I've been sort of printing over the last week or so when I've actually been home, which is not very often. What else? I don't know. Ready to know. What's everyone else up to? Mart's making a clicker counter for a rotary table counter. That sounds like a really good thing, actually. Russ and Oxen made a video about a very good video about current events. Go and watch it. And he's also making a little arbor press. I believe that the Prezzo is making a little arbor press too, so that might be some good videos. So, yeah, Mark, this is... sorry, I should have explained this a bit better. It's a drawing device. What it does is plot a picture on a sheet of paper from a CNC file. Hopefully. And that's probably a fairly long shot, but it might be fun. Sorry, excuse me. Made adapt better brake cylinders to his Zephyr. Okay, that's an interesting thing. The good thing about Ford custom lines and Zephyrs and prefects and things, they always used to say here in Australia anyway, is that you always had brakes, you just weren't quite sure which wheel. That's what they said about custom lines and prefects. The other thing they were a bit notorious for was jumping out of second gear. But a lot of prefects here had, which was the English 10 horsepower car, had a strap on the dashboard to hold them in second downhill because they never had brakes. Probably if they'd had brakes it wouldn't have been such a big problem. But anyway, Paul's got a rock wall to build next week. It's awesome. It should be fun. It's going to be nice weather for building rock walls. There is Shannondale news. I'm not sure we're ready to share it. I did sort of put something up on Discord. Dan's not here. We probably should have a bit of a talk about it, but we're in a position to have a in a position to have a 2-foot gauge railway donated to the Shannondale steam shed. It's sort of how we are. I guess we acquired a 2-foot gauge railway, which is only a little one, but it's a daunting amount of work, and that's probably why I feel exhausted this week, because even just organising it and getting it sorted and getting it in a big pile at Shannondale is going to be a big job, and I'm a bit exhausted with that. So it's probably if it goes ahead, there's a couple of kilometres of it, and then it'd be really nice to have a little railway around, and then probably 7 1/4 and 5-inch gauge, which we've got plenty of track too. We can find enough that matches up to curves and things, and then put that down the middle. Maybe. It's quite big. Yeah, it's only a little one. It's not USA standard load, USA standing loaded edge or anything like that. It's only a little industrial railway, and there's no locomotive, so it's a long and drawn out process. But I'm guessing if someone's going to donate us a railway, someone might donate us a locomotive yet, we'll see. You got me now. But yeah, there's about 60 tonne of it, and it's fairly light, and about 1 kilometre of it's still sort of down on the ground that needs to be removed. So it's a job for a truck and a tractor and some man hours. And probably a backhoe or something. It'd be a quick way to do it, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's capable of doing some actual work, even though it's probably going to just let him dragging firewood and stuff around the yard and water. We'll see. That's off the record for now, but it looks like it's probably going to go ahead. No 3.5 yet. We'll put a bit in if you bring a loco down. Absolutely. I'll go and buy a couple of lengths of flat and put in the middle. But I've got a 3.5 gauge loco too, so that's a bit of a problem. I'm not going to be able to sell it and buy a 2-foot gauge loco. Not that much of it yet. I think, yeah, maybe not. Take care, Paul. Don't take attendance. So coming back to watch the rest, whatever happens, seems a little bit sort of it's not doing anyone any favours, including yourself. I mean, it's a pretty demanding thing to ask anyone. Is that divorced my loco or divorced by loco, James? I don't have anyone to get divorced from, so I'm probably pretty lucky like that, which makes me a terrible enabler. But most of my mates do, so they've got to be a bit careful. Yeah, 2-foot cage is fairly big. It's real world. It's industrial railway size. There's a fair bit of work in setting it up, and there's a fair bit of track and stuff, and there's a bit of rolling stock, so probably be fun eventually. But we'll keep you posted as we go. Probably take some videos. Try and get some video this next weekend. I want to finish that door if I can on the truck on the other side. Get the mirrors back on. I believe that the glass for the front of the truck might be there Friday, so we might try and slip that in. The boys can slip that in while I'm messing around with the roller. Then give me a hand as I go to lift the con rod out and stuff like that. I think we've got to get to the bottom of where this near side driver's side big end's getting hot and squeaking. I reckon it's just a dirty oiler, to be honest, but I'd like to find out before we take it on another run. That's right, you can have blades at your house, in your house. In your house, yes. I'm glad you put spaces in between that so no one knows what you're talking about. Take care, Matt. Dog walk time is important. Apart from that, I don't know. I'd very much like to get all these bits sort of half together by the end of the week or so. We'll see by next week, maybe if I get time. But probably I'll get down there this weekend and shoot some video and maybe upload that. give everyone a bit of an idea what we're doing, what's happening. I've sort of run out of things to say, and I'm not feeling it tonight. Has anyone else got anything to add? Has anyone got anything they're doing, anything that's exciting? Anything that's happening? Yes, I understand, James. That's awesome that you've got voice to text. That's see. You're not hiding it from the other half. If she's watching, hello to her. But yeah. Anyway. Van could do with the wash tomorrow night too, if anyone wants something to do. And then come and pick it up from work and take it and wash it for me and can bring it back. No, I'll have to wash it tomorrow night, I think. It wouldn't hurt. Vacuum, clean all the floor mats and pull the wheel trims off and wash behind them and pump the tyres up and stuff for ready for the trip. Trip from here to Shenandoah or from work to Shenandoah is about 315k, something like that, for 320. So bit of a trek, but should be. If we're out of there by 6, we should be there by 10. Crawl into bed. I've got my own mattress on my bed. We can crawl in and all ready to go in the morning. So that's this weekend. So you're going a bit quiet. I'm feeling like I'm going a bit quiet too. Haven't bought or picked up anything except the bearings for this and 2 steppers, which I didn't have. I've got all the rest of the bits. Haven't really done anything much. Joe's talking about buying a grinder. It's a complicated sort of a mind maze for him to get through before he gets to that point. So I'm sort of being supportive and sort of saying, no, don't be so stupid. But it's very, very difficult. It's a surface grinder. More about that when it actually happens. Anyway, take care, Kim. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I think run out of things to say. Probably going to crash pretty early. I think as soon as this laundry's finished, which is probably, to be honest, another hour. I think I may have selected a longer cycle than I should have, and I'll hang that out. It should be dry by morning. I can actually. I've got clothes for tomorrow at work anyway, and then I can load it all in tomorrow night and have clothes, my old clothes for the weekend that are nice and clean and not too stinky, which is important. Stuart's pick is sorting out bookshelves. I wish I was. I really do. I'm kind of missing my library. Actually got it. There's a copy of Rolling Magazine come, which is the newsletter of the Road Roller Association, in the UK, if you're into those sort of things. This Monday just gone was Flat Cap, National Flat Cap Day in the UK. So I hope you all wore your flat caps if you knew about it. Don't actually own one. Anyway, at this point, I think I'm out again. Appreciate you all tuning in and saying hello. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. It's good to catch up with you. And I'm going to get 8 hours sleep or more, and probably go cut cat again tomorrow. And like a mate of mine used to say, like a cat out of a gun boot. If you need interpretation of that, I'm probably not the person to tell you, but you can work that one out for yourself. Go like a cat out of a gun boot tomorrow, and get to the point that Friday I can just go to work and deal with stuff and not have to worry about having so many deadlines. So that's how it is. More soon, and I'll try and get some footage. I'll take the GoPro and try and get some footage down this weekend of some of the jobs we're doing. Catch you. I'm out.